Okay, I wanted, okay, because of this conversation about washing of the ears, does all of the Islamic, or I don't know, I know there's different sects, like Sunnah, we're Sunnah, and there's just different sects. Does it differ in the wudu?
Yeah, it does.
Does it differ? I mean, can you?
You have, and again, and listen very carefully, please. Listen very carefully. There's only one Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's only one Prophet. There's only one Deen. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the one who gave us this Deen. There are different Math-haabs that have different ways of doing things. But we are to follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not that Math-haab, not that sect, not that group. Each one of these four schools, and there's more than just the four. You have Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, and Hanbali. Each one of these schools, or even the founder, or should we say the scholars of this school, whether it's Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, or Hanbali, all of them say, if you find something that I said and it contradicts the authentic Sunnah, take what I say and throw it against the wall and follow the authentic hadith. So you might have certain Math-haabs or people that follow certain Math-haabs and they do things a certain way. Now, if you find a hadith that contradicts your Math-haab, you must follow the hadith and throw your Math-haab out the water. If you find a hadith that is authentic and it contradicts what it is that you've been taught, or what your Math-haab is, you follow the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Otherwise, you will put that sheikh, that imam or whoever it is, over the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and thus you will follow the realm of Islam.
Okay, so not trying to be argumentative in any way, but I read both from the book of Sahih Bukhari and the book of Sahih Muslim as my main 2 points of study. And again, as I was saying, you know, from those 2 books that I've read, and I've read each and every hadith, when it does not specify that, how are you supposed to know to follow that if it's not specifying that you wash the ears?
Sister, there's 6 Sahih books. There's Sahih Sitta. It's called the Sahih Sitta. So there's 6 books that are Sahih. So there's 6 Sahih books. Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim are not the only Sahih books.
I know.
You have the Sahih Sitta. So the thing is this: Sahih Sitta, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Abdul-Walee, Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, Nasa'i.
Right.
These are the 6 Sahih books. Any hadith that comes out of these books, you must follow it. Period.
So
Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, Ibn Majah, right? Abu Dawud, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. Even there's other Hassan books when we get into the methodology of hadith. There's even other hadith books that are Hassan books, such as the Musnad of Imam Ahmed, or even the Muwatta of Imam Malik.
So of all of those 6 that you named, which I'm aware of those, is it or is it not true? Because I haven't studied that in depth to know that every last one of those books that every hadith in it is sound. They come from sound transmitters. So is that the case?
That is the case. That's why they're called the Sahih Sitta, which means
Yeah,
the Sahih
because
6, which means the sound 6 books.
Yes.
This is world renowned, world known all over the world by the
Okay.
muhaddithin and the scholars. These are the Sahih. That's why they call them the Sahih
Right.
Sitta,
And
which
the
means
reason
the
I asked is
Yeah.
because, you know, early in my days of Islam, when I first took Shahada and we were going through this situation, you know, there was always argument or those saying that, you know, like even the book of Dawood, for instance, there you couldn't depend on all of the hadiths coming from that book because of his family were known to be liars. And so, and alhamdulillah, I'm just saying.
The thing is, inshallah.
This is why they say they use Bukhari and Muslim as the main 2 sources.
When we get to that class, those are not the main. Those are the most authentic, but they're not the main 2. They're not the only 2 sources. They're the most authentic book after the Quran is Sahih Bukhari, hands down. After that, Sahih Muslim. After that, Abu Dawood or Tirmidhi. But there's a consistent, these are the two most authentic books.
And so
Now the sixth, but the Sahih Sitta, and this is why it's an advanced study of methodology of hadith. If you don't understand the methodology of hadith, it'll be confusing with you. If you don't understand the isnad, if you don't understand the science of rajul or rijal, or studying the men in the isnad or in the chain, if you don't understand Hassan, Mawdu, if you don't understand fabricated, you understand the chain of narration, then you'll be lost.
And so is it safe to say that it's just Allah willing that Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim didn't put those areas of wudu in their books of which to touch?
It doesn't mean that they're not valid. It just means that they didn't put them in their books.
No, that's what I'm not saying. I'm just saying that if, you know, you would think that with Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim being the top two of the hadith books, that they would entail every characteristic of what it should be done by a Muslim who's really trying to know what to do, because a lot of Muslims don't even know about all the other the Sahih books, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so therefore, it's easy, you could easily get misled until you come to know that, if you ever get that far.
Here's the rule of thumb. Even in the collection of the hadith, for instance, like Imam Hanafi, he lived in Kufa, right? Iraq. Some of the other Sahabas, when they dispersed, when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ died, then Sahabas, some went here, some went there, some went here, some went to Egypt, some went to Iraq, some went to Syria. So each one of these Sahabas took hadiths with them. Now, certain people in Medina, they may not have heard the hadiths that were in Kufa, because certain Sahabas moved. Okay? So certain people weren't privy to certain hadiths. So in Medina, they might be practicing a certain way different than the people in Kufa or in the Hijaz or whatever. It might be different based on a hadith, based on their being abreast to that hadith. Now, at the time of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, or even afterwards, traveling was very scarce. Now, Sahih Bukhari, who, if you read his book, it only has about 6,000 hadith. But we know there's more than 6,000, and these are ones that he chose. It doesn't mean that anyone else comes with any of the hadiths that they're not Sahih. It means that this is his book that he compiled in his time. In his time. Now, Imam Ahmed, who came later after Imam Hanafi or Shafi'i or Maliki, Imam Hanbali was the last of these four.
Right.
So therefore, he became more privy to more hadith than than Hanafi, Maliki, or Shafi'i, because he came later. So therefore, he had more access to more hadith.
I understand.
Just like us today, we have access to more hadith than those who were before, where they didn't have paper, they didn't have this, they didn't have fast communication or fast communication skills. So we have all the hadith. We have more hadith than some of the scholars had to use when they made their decisions. We have all the Sahih Sitta, right? And we have where we can just type in Salaah. Wiping the ears. It's going to give you all the hadiths. It's going to give you every hadith with regards to wiping the ears with the thumbs. It's going to give you the hadiths, right? And so when you get the hadith, because remember, when you find a Sahih hadith or even a Hasan hadith, it doesn't even have to be from Sahih Bukhari or Sahih Muslim or even the Sahih Sitta. If it comes from the Musnad of Imam Ahmed, or even if it comes from the Muwatta of Imam Malik. These are Sahih, then you have Hasan hadiths. Even if it's a Hasan hadith, it's still wajib for you to follow it. Wajib. Even if it's not from the Sahih. You have three categories of hadith, and this is, inshallah, this is going to be another class. We're going to the methodology of hadith. You have three types of hadith. You have Sahih, you have Sahih, you have Hasan, Da'if. The two first categories, Sahih and Hasan, which means without doubt, authenticated, and good. These two, even though one's Sahih and one's Hasan, they both become mandatory in you following that hadith. It's wajib that you follow that hadith, to believe in it and to implement it. Or if you deny it, it takes you out of the realm of Islam to deny any of the hadith, whether it's Sahih or Hasan. The da'if hadith are the ones that are considered weak based on the chain of narration, the isnad. If you know or been told that this hadith is da'if, you shouldn't follow it. Matter of fact, and don't even quote it. And if you quote it, you better make sure you quote that it's da'if.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be deemed as lying on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.